Welcome back to A Moment with Anisha. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am just so excited to be back. I just can't stop smiling. I have decided to do this video, which is entitled Discerning God's Best for You. Sort of as a part 2 to the video I did, the 7 signs he thinks you're the one. I've just gotten so many great comments and such great feedback from that video, so I just want to come back and kind of do a part 2 to that. More so this time, just digging a little deeper into finding God's best for you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, let's just kind of get into it. First thing I do want to say is there was a comment that I read, and this young lady was just saying, you know, a lot of these things that you're mentioning are very good, but anybody can kind of like show you something if they really want something. You know, they can kind of give you that false or facade of what they really aren't, but they're trying to be something that they're not, just to get into a relationship with you, and they're not really serious. They're not really trying to marry you or whatnot. And you are very correct. However, that's when you have to get on your knees and pray and ask God to give you discernment and wisdom with whoever this is that you're pursuing to be with. So that is why I decided to do this video, because, you know, the 7 signs he thinks you're the one, that's just like surface level things that guys can show you just to, you know, to prove that they're interested in you, or they may think you're marriage material. But it goes a little deeper than that. I don't want anyone to ever feel like if they don't see any of those 7 signs that they're just not going to get married or whatever. It's just, those are just basic typical things that you should be looking for. But the biggest thing is just, you want to make sure this person is who God has designed for you, God's best for you. So I just want to start off this video with this verse. It comes from James 1:5. It says, if you need wisdom, ask your generous God and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. So I just decided to share that verse because I just think sometimes we just, as women, we just try to figure things out all for ourselves. But God is a great father. He's a great father, and he's always there listening to us. If we are unsure about something, or even if it's big or small, and even when it pertains to our relationship, we should not be afraid to go to God and ask, like, look, is this dude the right one for me, God? Or, you know, what's going on? Or, you know, Lord, help me to figure out, you know, if this is someone that I should continue to pursue in a relationship. Or our favorite thing, as we say, Lord, give us a sign that he's the one, you know. But yeah, I mean, seriously, but all jokes aside, in seriousness, it is okay to go to God and ask him for wisdom to help you discern and figure out who's for you and who's not for you. Some people should not make it past hello, and yeah, so let's just keep that in mind. So a few points I want to make with discerning God's best for you. I think you should ask yourself these questions here, and the first one I think is important to ask is he pursuing you? You know, a lot of women think that they have to do the finding, and the Bible says, Proverbs 18:22, the man who finds a wife finds a treasure, and he receives favor from the Lord. So ladies, we don't really have to do anything. As far as finding our spouse, they are supposed to find us. A husband is supposed to find his wife. So if you're a guy watching, you need to go find your woman. She is not supposed to be doing all the chasing. You're pursuing her. And so I just think it's important to even keep that mindset, because a lot of women just think they have to go and search and, you know, look and try to find, like, it's not that way, you know. Make sure that you're developing yourself to be the wife, the type of wife that your husband deserves as well. And that's another video I'm going to work on, making sure you're who you need to be for your spouse, because the husband deserves a great wife as well. But just, yes, is he pursuing you? He should be pursuing you, not you chasing him and trying to figure out, you know, this and that and the other. You know, just, he needs to be pursuing you. You are the treasure. Let him pursue you. Findeth a wife. He's looking for you. All right, another question you should keep in mind, does he lead you to Christ? So if you're with someone and you're noticing, like, you know, he's just, you don't go to church as much anymore now that you're with this person, or you can't really have like spiritual conversations about God and like what his prayer life is, you know, you just feel like you're not connecting, then that's something to consider. 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, don't be fooled by those who say such things, for bad company corrupts good character. So yeah, it's very important that you consider what kind of people you're getting connected with. You know, if this is someone that's just not into the church, and I'm not saying that you can't, you know, be a good influence on someone, but you want to make sure that person is already has a spiritual relationship established, because it's really hard to for both of you to try to be on the righteous path when one of you is just doing something a little different. So, and that leads me actually to the next one, are you equally yoked? Because 2 Corinthians 6:14 says, do not be yoked together with unbelievers. But what does righteousness and wickedness have in common? Or what fellowship can light have with darkness? So if you're with someone that's just, you know, they into something else, and it's not, you know, Jesus Christ, then you're not going to make it. You're not going to be successful in that relationship, because you all are on two different paths. I know with my husband, when we first started dating, that was very important with me, is that I was with a believer. I was not going to waste any time with anyone that was just, you know, into Buddha or whatever else religion there is other than Jesus Christ, Christianity. Like that was just a no-go for me if you weren't there, because I mean, that sets you up for that sets your future up for success if you both are equally yoked and you're on the same page spiritually. And that leads to so many other different areas of marriage and relationships. You know, if you're not together on that same page, then it's going to be extremely difficult to make everything else work out. So yeah, so does he lead you to Christ, and then are you equally yoked? And I know some of you may just be dating, you're not necessarily yet married yet, but that's still very important that you keep that in mind. That, I mean, you have to date someone in order to marry them, so you need to already have that equally yokedness there already. So this is important. Another point or question that's important is, can this person lead your home? Ephesians 5:24 says, as the church submits to Christ, so you wives should submit to your husbands in everything. So honey, if you're with somebody that's not very wise in, you know, simple life decisions, and just don't have an attitude of leadership, of responsibility, and you know, someone that can really be a great husband to you, and not only that, a great father to your children. You know, this is someone you feel like you're having to mother or try to teach them things, then it may not be wise for you to continue to pursue that person. So yeah, and I know that S word is in that scripture. A lot of women kind of like, submit. I'm not submitting to anybody, but that's for a whole nother video. But you want to be with someone that you can really feel like you can give all of yourself to, that you can trust, totally don't have to worry about anything. You know that, you know, if the ball is in their court and this is a big decision that you have to make, or you're allowing him to make for your family, you have all the confidence there is, then you're good to go. But if this is someone that you're like, he might need a few more years, like, you know, it's just, you have to be discerning of that. You know, it's not so quick as, oh, he's smart, he's cute, but is he a leader? Can he lead your household? Can he be a father to your children? Can he be a positive and Christian-like example for your children? So those are things that I encourage ladies to entertain and ask those questions as you're dating and courting, because they're all so very important. And I cannot end this video without saying, ladies, it's great to look for these signs and all of this, but pray and ask God to reveal to you, you know, what is it that you should really be looking for in a man. And I can tell you these things, but you have to do the work yourself. You have to go to God and just ask him to show you. If you're with someone, you feel like this person is very special, very dear to you, and you're thinking that he's going to be the one to that you're going to marry, just ask God to show you, and he will give you that discernment that you need. I know for me, I actually had a journal similar to this, and I would write down all the qualities. When I was single, I wrote down all the qualities of a husband that I wanted. I mean, whether it was God-fearing, you know, he was career-driven, he had a great relationship with Christ, he was funny, you know, he did all kinds of things. I mean, he loved kids, he liked to go on spontaneous trips, just all kinds of things. When I tell you, God exceeded my expectations. My husband it just blew my mind. And I mean, some of the things I didn't even think of, like, I'm like, wow, that's a really nice quality that you have, like, you know, with my husband. And I mean, just be persistent in praying and asking God, and he is going to show you and direct you to the person that you're supposed to be, his very best for you. Another tidbit I want to say is the way I knew that my husband was for me was I had total and complete peace about him. You know how you date some people and it's just like something about them, you're just like, he is a great guy, but he's just got this little cursing problem, but I just can't, I don't know if I can get with that. Or he smokes, that bothers me. He drinks, you know, just something, even if it's small, it just doesn't give you complete peace. When I finally knew that my husband was for me, I just had peace. There was nothing that I really wished that he had, or I was like, man, I'm not sure. I had peace, and I believe that God gave me that peace, and that made me absolutely sure that he was who he was for me. He was God's best for me. So ladies, I hope this helped you all as you're courting, or if you're even married. I mean, you can still go to God and ask for wisdom for certain things in your marriage. You can never seek God for enough for anything. You can't overdo it. He says he will not rebuke you for asking. James 1:5. Ask him if there's something you're not unsure of, you need wisdom, guidance, whatever it is, ask the Lord and he will give it to you. So thank you guys for watching this video. Stay tuned for more. I'm just so excited to bring you more videos within this series, the Dating and Marriage Relationship series. So stay tuned, and thank you for spending a moment with Amisha. Bye.